Am I the a-hole for exposing my fiancé to his family and ruining his life? Me, 25F, and my fiancé, 26M, have been together for a decade and have our first child. Our relationship hasn't always been rainbows and sunshine, but it was steady and solid. Or so I thought. I just gave birth to our first child last November and is a stay-at-home mom, something we both decided and agreed to. My savings are substantial since I earned really good money and saved early on. My savings was going to be used for our baby's necessities while his income will cover the bills. The condo and 2 cars are under my name. The condo and my car are paid off. It's only his car that is not. I put down half of the amount as a down payment, so the monthly payments are not that high, plus with my good credit, the interest was low. I did have plans on paying off his car and putting it in his when I got back to work. I'm currently on a 6 month hiatus from work due to sepsis from my C-section and other birth complications. Giving birth to our first child nearly killed me. I came back from my postpartum appointment last week and heard my fiancé's diabolical plan. I did not expect to record it, but the timing was just perfect. Let me set the stage. As I said, I came home from my postpartum appointment and was told I have the green light to devour my fiancé. I gleefully went to VS to get lingerie and matching bras and panties because I was quite hot and ready to jump this man's bones again. I was recording myself and the VS bags when I heard him. I thought it was even more perfect that he was home already and I got these goodies ready to show him. Possibly make a quick movie. So I continued recording, but instead what I heard and recorded broke my heart. I'm so glad our baby can't understand what's going on yet, because I don't think I could handle explaining. My fiancé of 10 years was cheating on me, had plans to take money from me through child support but actually have his parents take care of our baby, is planning to take the condo and cars. I am sick. I am devastated. I distraught. I am heartbroken. I stopped recording and quietly went to our bedroom with our baby and cried. I woke up to my baby crying and I felt like a zombie. I was so numb and my thoughts were all jumbled. The VS bags was still in the hallway. He laid next to me asleep and snoring while I mustered the courage to send the recording to his parents. His parents blew up his phone in the morning, and he in turn blew up on me, calling me names, slamming doors, punching walls. He forgot that we have cameras in the house, so everything is recorded. He said his parents are cutting him off and it's all my fault. I embarrassed him and ruined his life. I had no right to record him. He said I'll regret it and he will get everything I had. I told him to try me. I've already talked to a lawyer, and in our state common law marriage is not recognized and the person who the child lives with does not pay child support. Seeing as everything is in my name, he has to move out. I gave him the rest of the month to move out. His parents and brother have been teaching out to me and has been very supportive and apologetic. My side of the family doesn't know yet. He called many times and left voicemails, texts, and even emails and letters since I changed lock on the doors and the code on the garage door. He wants to work it out and go to therapy. I honestly don't want to talk to him or work it out. I just want him out. I spent a decade of my life giving this man everything. I'm not perfect or a saint, but I've never and never will do something like that. I just want to move on. Edit. I'm sorry for the confusion about my hiatus and being a stay-at-home mom. I was already going to be on hiatus for work for 6 months, but when we realized how much medical issues I had, me and my ex-fiancé decided and agreed it would be best for me to be stay-at-home mom for the first year of our baby's life. It was a spontaneous decision. I was medically advised against any physical activity/labor for 16 weeks, so it wasn't like I could drive to different clinics and hospitals for work. So think of it as stay-at-home mom for the first year plus 6 month hiatus. I can return to work now since I've gotten a medical clearance. My agency doesn't allow anyone on maternity leave to work unless there's a medical clearance from a doctor. I'm a mobile registered medical diagnostic sonographer since there are people wondering how a 25 years old can afford a condo and 2 cars. I get paid a higher rate than an in-house RMDS because I travel and work for an agency. I accept whatever assignment I want for the day/week. Both cars are used, mine is paid off $15K and have had since I was 18, and the other car is $18K, which I only need to pay $3,600 on since I did put half of the amount down with low interest. I've been working since I was 15 and saving dollar. I'm smart with my money. It's expensive out here. One last edit before I give this thing a break. A lot of you need help. Messaging me telling me I probably did something to deserve it, or that I probably cheated, that's why he's doing this, or that it's my fault he cheated because I didn't give him sex. I went through a near-to-death experience giving birth to our son. I posted this because I needed the release. I needed to see if anyone out there experienced something similar or something awful. And what did they do? This whole thing has been so bad for me mentally and emotionally that I've hard dark thoughts, but I'm thankful for the support system I have. I know posting has its negatives, but a lot of you are just not cool. Update. Hello, it's me. My therapist advised against updating this, and yes, I did tell my therapist I made a Reddit account, but I told her why. She said sometimes it's best to let this fade with time, but if it'll help me, then I'm free to do so. So, I'm back working, which has been a refreshing change because it helped my mind stay busy and focused on anything that wasn't this nightmare. My best friend surprised me the day after I posted this because she said I've been giving her depressed weirdo vibes. So thankful for when she showed up because, as I've mentioned, I had dark thoughts and they were getting scary. She stayed with me for 2 weeks despite me telling her a week would be just as appreciated. She insisted that she be there for me and my baby. Her staying 2 weeks was very much needed, truthfully, because my ex reached out to my lawyer about coming to get all his things. My best friend made sure during the day he was there that he wouldn't try anything funny. He did say that he's offended that I don't trust him to be around me and our son unattended, and how I was being dramatic by having someone be present. It took him the whole day, and the day felt like it dragged on forever because I was so anxious with him being around. Like that dreadful and sickening feeling in the pit of your stomach that even a sip of water makes you feel like you're going to throw up. Before he left, he asked if we can talk before permanently going our separate ways. My therapist and best friend and lawyer were against it, but I agreed, which I later regret because this man is an a-hole. My best friend took my baby with her and stayed nearby. Me and my ex met up at a park and he tried to hug me, but I told him I don't want to be touched. He scoffed and said whatever. He said I don't understand what it's like to be a man who's supposed to be a provider and a protector. That his friends would make fun of him for having a female who is financially independent with her own place and car. How his friends said it makes him seem like a sugar baby and not a man. That how can he let a female take care of him? I just stood there silently because to me it was just unacceptable and made no sense. He was there through every step and every stage that I took to get where I was at. I made sure my success was his success too. I made sure what I had, he got too. I loved this man. I lived by the promise we made when we graduated high school with a greenery of goals and inspirations in our minds about how we wanted our future to be like. I let him talk about his childhood and how hard his life was despite me being there since we were 14. He said it didn't feel good to have someone come at his manhood. He complained about how hard life was. I asked him what made life hard, and he just kept stuttering about his manhood being questioned by my independence. He said he was always anxious and stressed that I could leave him if I wanted to. I asked him did he think what he did helped his anxiety and stress about me leaving, and he got upset. He called me a narcissist, a manipulator, and a femi. He said he's sorry for our son for having a mom like me, that he won't be paying child support. When I told him I don't need his money, he told me to F off and left. As I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm far from being a saint, but I've never had any mind or intentions of doing anyone I love wrong. What he did was beyond wrong. It was diabolical. All because he was tired of being made fun of him? He couldn't retort with pride and dignity. He couldn't see or feel the love and support in his surroundings. I was sick. Whatever he wanted, I was there to help him make it happen. Everything he went through, I was there even when he pushed me away, because I promised to be there through thick and thin. Now here I am pouring my worst nightmare to strangers online. I watched him walk away, and I suddenly didn't recognize the boy I crushed on in middle school. The boy I'd kiss after his basketball games in high school. The man who said he'd love me forever after the birth of our child. All the things he said replayed in my head, and I realized I didn't know him the way I prided myself I did. I finally told my side of the family of our separation. Lots of question, but I did ask that they respect our privacy and give us space. Only one of my cousins knows what happened, and thankfully she's in another state because I would have to bail her out by the way she described how she was to enact a revenge on him. I haven't told my mom, but she said she's going to be spending a few weeks at my place to help me adjust in October. My best friend had also offered to come back around the time my mom comes. No, I will not be pressing him about child custody or visitations. I did have my lawyer reach out to him about possibly giving up his rights. My ex's parents begged me to change my mind about that, but I assured them they can still see their grandbaby. My ex was more than happy to give up his rights. It hurt for him to easily and willingly agree because I thought he would have fought for our son. Also, I'm thinking of moving back to Cali and selling my condo and just staying at my mom's for a year till I save enough for a down payment, but knowing Cali house prices, probably wouldn't happen. Sorry for the ranting, but honestly this whole thing got me so messed up. The people on here saying it was fake, you have no idea how I wished that was true. I wouldn't have to uncontrollably cry whenever I'm home or looking at my baby. I wouldn't have to feel so much angst and sadness whenever I come back from therapy or from work. All these crying and asking questions why it was happening to me wouldn't be happening almost every night. Thank you once again to everyone who sent love and support. I'm finally closing this chapter. It's unfinished, but I'm ready to start over. Sending everyone good vibe.